we go. Bring in the tunes.
Three Gray Nerds.
What is up, everybody?
Hello.
Hope everybody's having a great
Look here.
day.
You can't be drinking something unless you got enough to share with the whole class.
You're too far away from me.
You gotta keep those vocal cords fresh. Fresh vocal cords. In case I want to break out.
Hello. It's Sunday. Remember those monster truck commercials used to do that? Friday.
Buy your ticket for the whole seat because you'll only be sitting on the edge.
Monster truck grave digger. Remember those commercials?
That was a good time. You guys
Oh,
gosh.
gosh.
That was a good time.
Oh, those were some great commercials, man. Grave digger. I loved it. And welcome to Three Gray Nerds. I got the wrong ticker on, but it's all good. We're having technical difficulties. We'll be okay. As we always say, like, subscribe, subscribe, man, share. We got, and for that applause thing, there you go. But subscribe, man, share. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and we're going to try to do it as quickly as possible.
Word.
Okay? All right, so first let's do our little salutations, man. So how y'all guys been this week, man? I haven't talked to you all week, Bill. So how you been doing?
Been busy. It's been a busy week. Just working and not sweating
Really?
my ass off. Yeah, it's been good.
What is it? 3 degrees from hell down there?
Like I said, I have a terrarium in my underwear right now because I'm sweating.
Way too much information. Just way too
I
much.
know, that
Come
was
on now.
way too much information.
It's like you open the door, and the devil farts in my face. That's what I feel like. I'm waking up, take a shower, AC's on, I'm feeling good. You open the door, and the devil's like, "Oh, get inside."
Yeah, I know it. I spent many years down there, so I know.
Oh,
Especially by the
you know
waterfront. I hated those sand fleas. I hated those little sand flies all over the place when you start. Oh, God.
what? Everything down here will bite you.
Yeah. Basically.
I mean, there isn't everything you can look. Oh, look. If you say, "Oh, look," it's gonna bite you. Raccoon, possum, snake, alligator, invisible teeth that just fly around the air. The flying teeth of Georgia.
Yeah. The flying teeth or the flying mimes, they used to call them.
Oh,
But,
it's bad.
other than that, how you been doing there, Nathan Summers?
I'm great. How are you? It's been a couple hours since we've
I'm
seen each
doing
other.
all right. Yeah, I just saw you a couple of hours ago. Yeah, we're going to talk about why we were together for a little bit. We had to check out a little Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get started, man, because we got a lot of stuff to cover, and we're going to blow through this stuff as fast as we can, like I said. Let's hit it first. Miss Marvel, Episode 5. I'm going to start off like I'd always say. Nice story. Kevin Feige's behind it. I had no idea what direction he was going with, and I still at times don't know what direction he's going with. But it's actually a pretty good story, and I have to agree with Bill, like you said last week. I didn't think about it, but the more he said it last week was it really digs a lot in the family, and it's kind of neat to actually see this family and all the little things about it. So I still think it's a story a little bit more for the preteen, teenager age group, but in all, it's a half decent story. I don't know why a lot of people are not watching it. That's what I'm seeing. But overall, I
as
mean,
someone
she's
who's
not a
not
major
watching,
character.
as
I
someone
mean,
who's not watching, it's just not a character I care about. So I'm not watching it. Like it's not. I'm not the target audience. So
well, the character. I mean, the comic book didn't do well. I mean, again, I hate to do this, but I actually agree with Nathan Summers. Uh, it's yeah, we're not the target audience. I enjoy watching it. And, it's got me. I kind of want to go dig into the history of India and Pakistan and the old, the split they talk about because I've never learned about that before, and it seems pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had friends from Pakistan, I've had friends from India, and they never really talked about it. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's funny that I actually just said I actually did. I started reading up and watching some little like what's it, the infographic show or whatever, where it doesn't do it deeply, but it kind of goes over certain aspects of the when it split. How the British left and how they basically just left and was like, yeah, y'all figure this thing out, and how
well,
things went between different religion factions, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
to
So
me, I always think this is a good topic to have. I mean, we could probably do our own, like an outside nerd topic, that's just on this because people say, because they blame the British colonialism and everything. But I think every action has a reaction, right? Yeah, it was.
yep,
They probably were rough on them, but they gave them some good things too. Because look at it now, Pakistan and India are nuclear powers, so it's not all bad. Like they put them in the right direction, right? I mean, look at China, in Hong Kong. That was a lot of Brits there, and then they, when they left and China takes it over, then it starts going downhill, and yay communism coming back hard. But that is a deep conversation.
it is.
We can have a
It
political discussion, and we can make another channel called Three Gray Voters. But I do want to read into the history, and I think I'll probably reach out to my my friends from there to get their perspective because history is always written by the perspective of the person writing the history.
Exactly. Real quick, somebody just sent me a shout out. Just said, can I get a shout out? Yes, you can get a shout out. So I got to give you a shout out there. That is actually my son, and he's trying to say, What's up there? How you out there out in the out there in a different land? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna dig deep into that. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I mean, like I said, I just think it is a story that, I mean, it's a decent story, but it's just not. Unfortunately, it's just not capturing a certain type of audience, and from that, where it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't think
it's probably getting the right views that it needs. I'm just watching it for my own curiosity to see where they're going to go with the story here.
Yeah, because it is a half decent story. So let's move on.
And the girl that's playing Kamala, I'm going to give her support because I think she's probably the best thing about that show because she is good actress because she likes Marvel. So
yeah,
thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up. It's a half decent story. So let's move on. I'm not going to dig deeper into that.
I don't think
moving on to something a little bit, something that's a little bit more. Yeah, we'll do we got to do a hey to that kind of thing real fast. That's all it was. Real quick, let's go ahead into the boy. What do you want to go into boys or do terminal list right now?
Let's
do boys.
All right. Let's do something a little bit more adult. Yes, the season's over with. The boys. You go ahead and take that a little bit there, Nathan Summers.
So it didn't end the way I thought it would. That's good. I liked the ending. It was good. They're going in a different direction than the comics. That's always, I think, a positive. Because if we were going by the comics, well, Black Noir would still be alive, and he would try to kill Homelander because technically he's the evil clone of Homelander. That's not a spoiler anymore because he's dead. They did some new things in it, and I think that's good. I'm trying to remember. The producer of the show, actually, Eric Kripke, he's done a lot of great shows that I've enjoyed. I would say 99% of the stuff that he's done. So this is definitely, I look forward to next season, and hopefully it doesn't go through like the Walking Dead withdrawal syndrome with the blood and guts. Even though that part is good, but I'm not. I guess if you want to say it, like we like if the three of us are watching it, but we want to like appeal to everyone in order to watch it. Sort of like Game of Thrones, initially, not toward the end. But boys, I think the boys is well written. It's just they definitely took a right from the comics, and I think that's a good thing because the comics are definitely crazy, bloody. That's what I was. I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed this season. Last season, not so much, but this season I've enjoyed a lot better. But I think Jason Ackles is an awesome actor. Like anything he's in, I would love to see him in again. Supernatural, he's awesome in. This, he's awesome in. Batman Red Hood, he was great in. So this he's fantastic in as Soldier Boy.
Excellent. What you think about it there, Darth Bill the Wise?
I enjoyed it. Like I said, the first season was good. Second season was meh. Third season was better, and I think they actually listened. This is the first time in a long time I think the way they listen to the people watching the show. Because they have the political jokes, and they want to go one way or the other. They stick it down the middle because they know everybody watches it. And I thought this season was good. They made fun of the Pepsi commercial that came out. Where she gave everybody a hug. I thought that was great. As going with the show, like I just started reading the comics, so I guess I like where it's going. I was kind of upset. I was liking. Well, I guess he's still alive. They kept Soldier Boy alive because I liked his character a lot. And now that Homelander's got his boy with him now, and I tell you, when I watched that last season, if they ever remake The Omen, call that kid because he looks creepy as hell. The way you stand there, like.
Yeah, he had a little like a smirk on his face, almost like, I'm liking this. That was creepy.
He's this kind of kid. You're like, keep an eye on that weirdo right there. but I guess. Do you think? Now, they said when you take that V stuff, the temporary V, that you were going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think Butcher is out the door because he's already leaking from his nose now?
Well, they said 12 to 18 months.
So that's one season, right?
They're saying he has 12 to 18 months to live. He said 12 months, 18 months tops, basically. So, he's dying. He took it that one last time.
I dig his character. Because I think Carl Urban, he was on, both him and the guy that plays Homelander were both on Xena Warrior Princess.
They were.
We're gonna laugh about it
earlier this week.
Yeah, we talked. We talked about this. We talked about this where we when we did the Minions Rise of Gru movie, and the fact that Lucy Lawless is in that movie, and he was like, wow, we can do like a 6 degrees of separation to Xena Warrior Princess with all the people that was in that movie. She's been
in a lot.
Yeah.
What's the guy that plays Homelander? Because I think he's perfect for that role. Because he's like, if you saw that dude, you saw him like in real life, like you didn't know who he was. You'd be like, this guy's an ass. He's typecasted, like the prince from Game of Thrones, that kid, and like the guy, the kid that plays the blonde-haired kid in Slytherin in Harry Potter. Like every time you see him, you're like, oh, he's a bad guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like him and what was that kid? The kid off of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Anthony Starr, though, that's his name actually. He was in Banshee, which was on Cinemax, which was I like that series.
Okay.
I don't know what 11? Else.
Did it come on
you
after
probably
11?
Couldn't watch it.
I was. My mom didn't let me.
I don't think he had. I mean, he was in Xena like 30 years ago. Banshee, though. I enjoyed Banshee. I thought Banshee was a good show. It's sort of about a commune who takes the identity of a dead cop and no one knows, and he's like a criminal and he's hiding out from the mob, like in this small town, and they have their own criminal boss who's like a Quaker. So it's kind of wacky, but it was a cool show.
Like a Quaker,
Um,
like an
Okay.
Amish dude.
yeah, he's an Amish dude. The main criminal boss is like not quite Amish, but it's close.
I need to see this. I want to see an
Yeah.
Amish mafia movie now. Whoever writes movies, I want to see an Amish. Ezekiel. One
Well,
day,
Banshee
when
Jebediah.
they never come, I'm going to make milk and cheese.
Banshee does this, so I would say check out Banshee. It's not quite Amish, but it's pretty close to being Amish.
Okay.
I can check it out.
Okay.
Probably on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon.
Yeah. Well, I have to
But-
agree with you. I have to agree with you guys on the boys. I mean, I think the third season it didn't end anywhere near the way that I expected it to end. I mean, that was way right field. I mean, they hit that one. Wow, because I mean, think I said it last week that I would think that Homelander would lose his power. He would have to take the temporary V in order to keep up appearances, type thing, and it didn't end anywhere like that. And I mean, obviously, you can't. I mean, they're so far down the rabbit hole, they can't go anywhere near like the comic ends, because the comic ends basically, it's like a Martin Scorsese movie. Everybody dies in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think it's pretty good. I don't really. I mean, I can only suspect the way that they'll continue the story, because right now they're on uncharted territory at this point. I mean, there's nothing they can follow, pretty much,
Yeah.
in the way that they are. But I mean, it's still a riveting story. It's still interesting. Let's see if that lady's gonna be vice president, man. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, that's gonna be.
Yeah. It
Man.
They did a good job. So it left you hanging.
Yeah.
The one thing I did not like about this season was I think a couple of episodes dragged out a lot. Because there was a lot of filler to get to the end. Some episodes I just left. I was like, okay, that was a lot. There wasn't much of the major storyline there, but it was still okay. I'm next season. I'm already hooked. Right, I got to know. Old girl's running for vice president.
Oh
You
gosh.
You got Homelander teaming up with his boy,
Oh man.
and the boys are back together. I think Maeve's
And
done.
then-
I think Maeve's going to go off and disappear.
Well, she might still help out in some type of way. I mean, I don't know. She might. I mean,
She
has a lot of-
doesn't have power.
but she has
so
a lot of.
she's gone.
You think so? She thinks she's just riding off on her farm and
lost all her
Homelander.
powers.
her significant other.
Homelander is a big reason why you would disappear, because he would I-beam you. And that's a good enough reason for her not to
Yeah.
ever show up again. Unless Homelander has some weakness that only like she would know. I think there
Well,
was a comic series by Mark Waid. It was called Irredeemable. And in that, like, one of his Lois Lane type deal, she knew his weakness, but he didn't think she would ever tell, but that could be maybe, or like how they bring her back, but she never had a relationship with Homelander, so I don't think that's like going to happen.
Yeah. Well, she did stab him in the ear.
That was pretty awesome.
So-
and
so-
she made dude bleed. She made him bleed.
Yeah. So the super hearing might.
I don't
That's-
know if
I
he's
mean, I
has
just
any
thought about-
healing powers.
Yeah, I don't think he had healing powers like that. But I mean,
No.
she stabbed him well in the ear. So that might, like I said, that's the first thing I thought when she did that. I said, oh, you can't hear nothing now. But
I mean, I would say I'm a little sad that they killed off Black Noir, because I kind of like that story, like how he was a secret clone of Homelander. Because one of their final battles happens in the White House, because Black Noir has been going insane because his one job is to kill Homelander, but he can't do it because Homelander hasn't gone off the reservoir. So he starts impersonating Homelander. So he's the one that rapes Becky. He's the one that does all these horrible things to people that they said Homelander did. But that's why Homelander like sees himself in that mirror, and so that's what I thought was going to happen. But they went the Deadpool way with Black Noir or whatever the hell the cartoon part was, and then they. But I like the way they went. I did like the way they went.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. I am.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Do you think the boys will get more viewers than the Lord of the Rings?
I don't. What do we mean? The first episode, or like
I was going to say initially, maybe not.
I think down the road, like the full season. We're looking at the full season of the Lord of the Rings show coming out versus the season of the boys.
I would say we have to see the entire season of Rings of Power or whatever the hell it's called right now.
Yeah, it's just speculation. I'm just wondering because I mean, like if you look on IMDb, they're getting an 8.7 out of 10. The boys is. That's pretty solid.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I think that's where I would put it. Like an 8 out of 10. That's where I would put my score for it.
Yeah, I would say it does have a lot of similarities, which kind of made me kind of think about it. And I think this is what Nas and I talked about. I think it would have been cool if they did a black and white kind of thing with the boys, like with their bloody scenes, or sort of like in Walking Dead when Negan was introduced. If you did that entire episode in black and white, it would have been really kind of cool.
Like
well, the
Sin
comics
City?
Yeah,
yeah,
so I was gonna say like Sin City.
Yeah, I mean it's like Sin City. I don't know which predates what. I think Walking. I don't know which one predates.
Sin City was out before Walking Dead because that was Frank Miller's baby.
Yeah.
Published or out in the movies?
Yeah, published in the comic books.
Well, I mean they did like colors too, but Walking Dead was black and white. So I thought it would be interesting to see if they did that or did that with the boys, because I think that would be kind of cool. If you had like a bloody episode, you just do black and white. And I mean, that's a big thing in comics right now too. Like do black and white and then red. Like they do that with Wolverine, Deadpool, Batman. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of see that kind of in TV. I mean, we kind of saw that in Thor today. So
yeah. What do you think about where A-Train's going with his character? Because that's an interesting character arc that he's going through right now. Because his brother told him to F off, and his brother was his hero.
Well, he's such an unlikable character. Like I was hoping Homelander would have killed both of them, but he just decided
With him and the Deep?
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to kill them both, but he just said, "You're gonna do what I tell you to do, and you're not gonna question me." And you're pretty much. I don't consider you guys my family, and he pretty much embarrassed each single one of them and said, "You're not doing anything without me telling you to." So
Yeah.
I think those characters are pretty much they're extensions of Homelander at this point, and they'll probably continue, and maybe they'll reject him, but highly doubtful because they like the money and the fame. And
I think they're gonna kind of help the boys out. I think they're gonna do basically the same thing that happened to Soldier Boy, where Soldier Boy treated everybody so bad, eventually everybody just turned their back on him and they end up setting him up. But I think you're setting things up for another mutiny, where all the people that was kind of linked with him, kind of ways to kind of work against.
There's a huge power level difference between Homelander and Soldier Boy. Like Homelander can hear things, like he has super senses. He just has more powers than Homelander. Homelander was just sort of like a super soldier, and that's pretty much his power set. He couldn't fly. He can throw laser beams. So he's very. I would be more afraid of Homelander than I would be a Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy is
Well,
easier to contain, and Homelander is not.
now he's got that chest blast. I don't. That's
I
he
mean,
always
that's an
used.
Yeah.
equalizer, but I mean, Homelander just. I mean, it's sort of like the classic, like, hey, who would win, Superman or Hulk, or Superman or any of these people who can't fly?
Superman.
Superman. Superman will win because he just has to fly whoever to the sun and just leave them there, or
Yep.
throw him into space, and the fight's over. So it's sort of it's not a fight. The only reason Superman, like Batman, people talk about is because Superman won't fight him. But I mean, Superman will probably win 9 out of 10 times. The 1 out of 10 times is because Batman plans everything.
Yep. Well, I think Homelander needs a doomsday kind of ass whooping. It puts him in the hospital, or maybe kills him. But since we're still talking about the boys, Kamiko, freaking love that character. She's a badass.
Oh,
She was a badass in Suicide Squad, and I'm looking forward to seeing her in the Bullet Train movie coming out.
yes,
I'm-
yes.
Every time I turn around, I'm seeing a trailer for it, but normally I'm not getting tired of watching it because if it comes on, I'm like, oh, this looks good. So, I've
Yeah, that
been
does
on
look
those
good.
trains in Japan. They're pretty cool. Those bullet trains, and there's a lot going on in that movie. And if it's got what's her name, Karen Fukuhara. If she's in it, I'm watching it because she's got those eyes, those little puppy dog eyes, and I'm like, oh, well, you want to stab me in the throat? Go ahead. Come here. The way she looks at Frenchie is like, oh man, she's perfect. And she doesn't have to say any lines. But when she was singing, and she was having those little singing fantasies with the old movies,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yep.
Yeah, it trips me out. I like how they use the music, use older music along with that show. Like she had to put on Flashdance, before she went to
That
fight. And I thought it was kind of cool. When
freaking amazing. That was
she's doing all the movements like Flashdance. I'm like,
That was
that's kind of
amazing.
cool, man. That's
That
kind
was-
of cool.
yep.
A little nostalgic.
She's owning it now because she got to choose. That's the other character arc. Like she lost her powers when she duked it out with Soldier Boy, and then didn't like that she didn't have any powers, but chose to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's like feels right with the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's freaking awesome. You want to talk about a strong female character? There you go.
And look how they developed her character, though, because initially she was just like an animal.
Yeah,
They
she was
found her in a
like-
cage. Didn't. Of course, she couldn't speak. She didn't. I mean, she was just there. And then eventually, over each episode, they kind of worked her character into being something. So now she's like an integral part of the boys itself.
Yeah.
So I like that. But plus the thing is, I like listening to the thing. I listened to one of the interviews where a bunch of them, a bunch of the people from the cast was on there, and they said the guy that they said they have to sometimes stop every time he delivers a line because they just want to laugh, and everybody just start laughing off of the line that he delivers. So I thought that was kind of cool because some of the lines he has is awesome, and it's kind of comedy relief, but it fits right in the perfect spot that he delivers it. So I like that. I like that aspect of it. But like a little bit more adult, but it's riveting, it's interesting, and the story continues to go. We'll see where it goes from this point, because like I said, now they're basically off the page, and we've seen what happened to Game of Thrones when they got off the page.
Yeah, but
else
the
to
other thing
follow,
is-
so they just
I'm going to call timeout because, again, like, I think there's a difference between the producers of Game of Thrones and this producer. Like, okay, so I'm going to read because I was
Seth
looking him
Rogen?
up while we were talking. No, not Seth Rogen. Eric Kripke, because he's the executive producer of it. He's done Supernatural, which
Yeah.
lasts 15 years. I mean, he did go do Ghostfacers, which I don't know what that is. Tarzan, which is early in his career. He did Revolution, which actually I kind of like that. That was that where like electricity doesn't exist in the apocalypse.
Oh,
Timeless, which was they did is a Bradley Cooper movie where he took like a pill to become smarter. So Limitless was that,
Oh, AZT. I
and
think that was the name of the drug.
it was something like that. And then now he's done The Boys. So Eric Kripke, I have strong feeling. I think he's a really good executive producer. Like he gets really talented people to come in and he lets them develop things and he oversees it well. So I don't think we're going to encounter. Well, I mean, I look at Supernatural. Like every season was really, I thought, good. I love Supernatural. Positive thing from Summers. So that might be talking to him. But
Keep
no,
it going, man.
but
Strike it up.
but I would say Supernatural did different things every season. I mean, they did an
Yeah.
episode with Scooby Doo. I mean, they did an episode with Scooby. They became animated and they were in a Scooby Doo cartoon. Um, they had an episode where Jensen Ackles is he can talk to dogs, which was probably one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen because he's like sniffing everyone and acting like a dog. Um, he can talk to animals. So I think Eric Kripke has a good. I don't think I'll see like the Walking Dead kind of issues because they'll do something new. I think next season. I mean, they did have last season wasn't as good as season 1 or season 3, but I mean, Supernatural had its lulls too. But I would say I have a lot more faith, and I know Seth Rogen is attached to it too. But I would say I'm pretty sure it's Eric Kripke who's like driving this, unless they fire
you,
him tomorrow, and then you're going shoot.
you brought up a good point. How Eric Kripke picks talented people, and I always think a producer that's their job. A producer is like a football manager, right? You manage the football team. You pick your coach. You pick your your defensive coach, your linebacker coach, your quarterback, and then you pick your team, and then you trust them to do what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
Eric Kripke hires the right people to do this movie or his TV series, and that's why it works. And a lot of other things they don't do that because I think producers have too much power. Like if you look, you look at we just watched The Offer, right? You guys watch that yet?
No.
No.
You haven't watched it. Why are you making a face for?
No.
Why don't you
No.
let me tell you about it before you make a face? Okay, it's
I've
about the
heard about it.
making of The Godfather, and it's great because the producer only gets involved to get stuff done, and he lets his folks do what they're supposed to do while he's protecting them from the corporate weenies up at top. Maybe we should make the movie shorter. He's like, maybe you shut the hell up and release it like this because corporate they're worried about how much money they're gonna make. We can show more movies if it's an hour and a half, more movies in a day. If it's an hour and a half versus 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I would be for shorter movies because my bladder is not as big as it used to be, so I have to get up during the movie now to like go to the bathroom.
Bring a cup or one of them or a colostomy bag.
I had kids sitting next to me. That would have been like, here, let me pee next to you. Yeah, I can't. No.
Yeah, that would be bad.
You got to know. You got to train the bladder. As a retired sailor myself, you got to have that 6 to 8 hour bladder because sometimes you don't get that head call. You go before the movie. Before the movie.
No, that did happen, but it's been happening more like with Batman, with this. I don't think with Top Gun, but those like we're getting longer and longer movies. Plus, we haven't gone to really movies in the last 2 years, so. When we have been watching movies, we've been streaming them, so you can just pause, like run, and yeah, whatever. All right, we got off topic. Let's get back on topic.
And I was getting ready to say that we're going down a rabbit hole because I thought somebody was going to say something about a prostate, and then I thought, there it is. That's all it is. So let's move on.
We all good? Everybody loves it.
Oh, love the boys. I'm waiting for season 4.
Yep.
I'm waiting for season 4. I have no idea where they're going, but I'm looking forward to it. All right. Let's hit terminal list.
Well,
Yeah.
And
since I'm
once
the
we
only one,
finish, the question is going to be like we said: is it a hit or is it a miss? That's going to be the question right after we finish. So first, go ahead and start, Nathan
so
Summers. What did you think about the show?
it it was. I think this was the series that I thought Moon Knight would be. Just in like showing how lethal someone is, plus during the episodes you're actually wondering, is this character like, is he like hallucinating, like what is going on with this character, like is he it, because it seems like he thinks that he's paranoid. You don't really know what's going on for the first couple of episodes, and even watching those first couple episodes you're going, what the hell is going, like I think it's like 4 episodes at least before you start to realize, I'm not going to say anything, but before you start to realize, okay, either he is crazy or he's not crazy. And then once you realize those two things, but I think they did a great job of leading up to that, which I thought they could have done a better job with Moon Knight because, well, technically Moon Knight is crazy, but they could have done a much better job of that. And I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I think there's times when it's slow, but if you compare it to like Old Man, I mean, Old Man, we're still, hey, he has 2 dogs and he's kidnapped someone and we have no idea what's going on. Terminal List at least moves at a good clip, and I think that's positive. I mean, there are times where you're just confused and you just want to know, but it never really lost my interest, and I think that's kind of key. Like other things that we have watched, I've lost interest and I've only kept watching it because um yeah, so, but I've enjoyed it. I think it's been cool to see. Like they have really good actors in it. It's at a good pace. I haven't read the book yet, but I mean the guy who wrote it, I think, is a Navy SEAL or was a Navy SEAL. So
Oh, really?
he has a lot of knowledge. So
Yep.
and I think like the way they set it up, everything is, I think, very well done. And as the movie goes forward, like it has a great cast. It's cool to see. I don't know how it's done, like in the ratings, so to speak, like Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't looked at it. From what I've heard, the audience loves it and the critics hate it, but that's pretty much the norm nowadays.
That means it's good.
Yep. So
That means it's good.
I,
That
I
means
have,
it's tingling.
yeah. So I enjoyed it a lot. I watched all the episodes. I think I did that instead of watching Miss Marvel, and so yeah, I watched that instead of other things. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it was really well done. Well, because I mean, I think I like how they did. Is he crazy or is he not crazy? Like, is this stuff actually happening to him, or if it did happen to him, when did it happen to him? And that, I think, is kind of a cool way. And then they go to a different path once you pass like the different number of episodes. So I think I enjoyed it. I know Darth Bill and you haven't finished it, so I can't say anything other than I enjoyed it. I think Chris Pratt does a really good job in it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me chime in on this because you just made a comment about Rotten Tomatoes. That's the beauty of the internet. They have an average score of 43%,
Yeah.
but the audience score is 94%.
Read some of the comments. Read some of the critic comments.
I mean, that is bananas. I'm just looking at the overall score itself. I'm thinking that is bananas.
Well, it's like Minions. Like
I mean-
Minions got savaged by the critics, but the audience loves it. And plus, it broke records, which we talked about earlier this week. I mean, we don't, but it seems like the critics are shills now, and they just do that. And that's why it's so hard to trust, like, the people that Amazon brought over to watch Ring of Power and like other things. Like, I mean, Disney Marvel has shills on Twitter, and you just don't. They just gush over the stuff, and when you ask them, well, why are you giving this a 9.5 out of 10? Well, I like the imagery. Well, a 4-year-old likes that. What about the story? Well, I don't care about the story. Well, but I mean, I I remember Siskel and Ebert, like you could mostly figure out if a movie was good or not if they both agreed to it, or if thought it was good and one thought it was bad, you figured it was a good movie. But if they both thought it was bad, you sort of were like, yeah, I don't really know if that's right. But critics nowadays, it seems like they are definitely have an agenda, or they realize that their bread is buttered by Amazon or someone else. So it's sad because you can't really trust the critics anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's fascinating though when I mean to see something with that much of a disparity though. I mean, and I'm talking either way. If the
Well,
audience
look at
hated it, but the critics loved it, I don't care whatever way you go. Anything that has a disparity. I mean, like you just said, the Minions movie. The Minions is still running at 72%, but the audience score is at 90.
look at Obi-Wan.
So
Obi-Wan had like a 90% critic score and like a 62% audience score. I mean,
there's
but but Disney fought back and they said, "Well, we're getting reviewed bomb." And it's just like, no, you're not. Like I'm seeing like the critics say the critics don't have any comments for your stuff, but then when I read the comments for something else, it's different. Yeah, I did see that. Um,
yeah, it's just fast to me. It's fascinating. That's all. I mean, just like
but when was the last time
the,
anyone listened to a critic? I guess is what you want to say. Like I don't judge movies. I mean, I remember seeing Jonah Hex and going, this movie, I mean, it was an awful movie, but it was sort of funny because it had a soft porn vibe to it, and it had a great cast. Like, it had Brolin in it, it had Megan Fox, but like, the colors in it is just like, what are we watching? Like, is it like a porn parody? Like, what is going on here? Um,
Yeah.
but the critics hated it. But I mean, Highlander, way back in the day, I'm sure critics would hate that today, but it's a cult classic. So
oh yeah,
the the audience doesn't care what the critics really think about stuff. I mean, I don't think critics like Star Wars either. Well, the original
they
Star
didn't.
Wars.
The
They
Not
they
original.
New
love
Hope.
the
No, they didn't.
they love the new Star Wars, but I don't think they like the old one.
Yeah, because I remember I believe if I remember correctly, Siskel and Ebert gave New Hope a thumbs down, both of them.
Yeah, they were dumb.
Yeah,
Because it was it was
They bashed the critics bashed so many things. So many things that we love today were bashed back in the day.
yeah.
Like classic horror movies. Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The critics like this just a disgusting blood and guts and But okay, you don't like it. Shut your mouth. You can't be a critic of everything. That's one thing. You can't be a critic of everything. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go watch a freaking Hallmark movie and go and critique it because it's just not my thing. I'll watch a horror movie. I'll watch Terminal List. I think it's
Yeah.
good so far. I mean, personally, the
Well,
first
what episode are you
was
in?
uh 4.
Okay.
Uh, the first episode was really slow,
It is.
really
Yeah.
slow. Like it kicked off great with the mission, but then it was just slow. Hold on, my notes just went away. But I do like Jack Carr. I have read the book before, and because he used to be the guy he's 20 years, man, 20 years. He retired, and he was a sniper and a unit leader and everything. He knows his stuff. And I listened to an interview recently with him, and he was on Joe Rogan a couple weeks ago.
Oh really? Okay.
Like, so he uses his experience and his knowledge to write into these books, and sometimes they get censored. Like he's got to dial it back. It's like if we wrote a submarine story, like, well, you can't really say that. It's just
We have this
made up.
knob. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I would agree with you. Terminal List definitely had its lag moments. Um, Episode 1, that was definitely kind of a tough one to get through. And just trying to figure out what he's going through. Like they're definitely they could have edited it a lot more.
Totally. Yeah, I think
Well,
they could have probably took episode 1 and episode 2 to squish them together. But like I said, we want to keep this going here. But I'm going to say this is a hit so far, and I'm looking forward to whatever else Jack Carr comes out with that they make into a series. Because, like I said, if this makes enough money, then they're going to reach out to, and he's got six books out now. Look him up.
Okay.
Just Google him. He's a pretty cool, pretty cool guy. Pretty humble guy. I think most
Yeah.
Navy SEALs are like that. But it's cool that you see a guy that's 20 years, and can write a freaking story.
So we all agree it's a hit.
Yeah, I love it.
Thumbs up.
Yes,
And
do not listen to Rotten Tomatoes and they're 40% because they don't know what they're talking about.
This is for the critics out there. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
And the number one, they were saying it was too masculine. I'm like, it's about a Navy SEAL.
What? It's about a Navy SEAL. What do you mean by masculine?
You have to be masculine.
I'm not even looking at masculine. You're just a Navy SEAL. You're doing what Navy SEAls do. I mean, stop.
It's not bad to be masculine.
Stop.
Go away, critics. Go away.
You're doing what Navy SEAls do.
All right,
that's like writing a submarine movie. Oh, they pick with each other too much. That's what we do. Stop.
Move on. Moving on.
Go brush your blonde hair, critics.
Let's go. Moving on. Let's go.
Moving on. I don't want to get too deep into it. All right. Let's get into the new movie. We're not doing spoilers. We're going to try not to do spoilers, but we're just going to talk about it a little bit and overview. That's all. Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's start off. I started off with you there, Nathan Summers first. So we're going to start off with Darth Bill first this time.
Yeah. So I am going to give it a 6.5. A 6.5 out of 10. It was a fun movie. I think it was funny. There were some good parts to it, but I think they got away from the action and there was too much comedy. I thought it was too much. They got the belting goats that way too much, right? And they didn't give Christian Bale enough screen time. Christian Bale was freaking nailing it.
He was awesome in that. But I don't want to talk. Go ahead. You go ahead. Yeah,
Christian Bale was doing a freaking great job. Thor was a great job. I like that they did stick with the comics where Jane Foster, in the comics, I'm not spoiling the movie, but in the comics, she had cancer. And it's the only way she survives. I am happy that they didn't swap Thor out. Okay. That's why I say it was cool. Way too many jokes. They got to dial the jokes back. It makes me, worried about because Waititi's going to be making a Star Wars movie or series.
Oh gosh, I'm rolling my eyes already.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. But there was some cool things in there. So, what's his name from? Why am I forgetting his name now? Why am I brain fart every time I get on it? Because I have it in my notes. Gladiator. Russell Crowe.
Yep.
Played Zeus. And I don't know if you guys noticed, like when he came out and Zeus is in his thing, he's telling everybody, hold. There's a little shout out to the Gladiator because he was like, hold.
I wanted him to come out and say, "Are you not entertained?" But he didn't do that. So
that would be cool. I think the whole thing was a little bit more subtle.
I wish he would have did that. Oh.
I like this character. He's funny. The older Russell Crowe gets, the better his acting gets, and I'm more entertained because he doesn't give a shit. He's chubby. He's like, whatever. I know I'm not the Gladiator anymore, and I'm pushing 60-something years old. I'm gonna have fun. That's pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I said lately, Marvel. I went and I'm not going in there with high hopes. I'm not going high hopes.
Yeah.
But I do recommend that if you go and see it. Lately, there's always two, right? So it's like the main credit score come up, and then there's the extra scene, and then there's a little bit of more Marvel love after all of the credits come up.
Yeah. So stay through all the credits. Yeah.
So
I don't know how they're pushing. This is supposed to be phase 4, right? Phase 4 of the Marvel.
Where my
world.
camera at? 4.
Yep.
4. Back there.
Where are they going with it? I was disappointed because I thought Thor was going to be hinting to the next big baddie, like a Thanos. It's not Zeus.
I think the next big baddie is High Evolutionary.
You think so? Well, we'll wait for some hints. That's just our opinion right now.
Okay. Go ahead, Nathan Summers.
I think there are hints, but we can get to it. And I liked it. I would say I like seeing Greek gods, and to me, seeing Russell Crowe, and I know people are like, well, he's not, the six pack abs. I'm like, do you know, like in mythology, Zeus was never like the most attractive person. Like he was either like the wind, fart, or like he was never like the most attractive thing. He would impregnate women, and that was Zeus. Like he
Word.
wasn't a Greek Adonis. Like he was a bull or something else. Like he was never hot, I guess would be the best way to say it. I thought it was good.
Are you hinting that I'm Zeus right now? I'm
No.
a little embarrassed.
I would say that I thought it was definitely corny, which seems to be like the thing with Marvel right now. Go corniness. Christian Bale, I would say, yeah, I would like to see more of the villain, but in movies that have like great villains, they tend to overshadow the hero, and I think it's fine if you don't allow that to happen, because technically it's a Thor movie, not a gore movie. It would have been good to see more of him, but I would say like of all the Marvel villains, I've liked him probably the best, because he was sympathetic, because you realize he's pissed because the gods didn't save his kid, and that's why he wants to kill them all. And
you can read the comic book. It's in the comic book. I'm just adding that disclaimer.
It's in the comics. Like he's a god killer. Like his family dies, and they were like devout followers, and he's pissed, and he has the Necro sword, which is what he has in the comics too. Which that gives me another idea for another villain, but that's fine. But I thought, like, maybe he could have been in more of it, but it was sort of nice to see, Thor and, like, Mighty Thor kind of play against each other. I mean, yeah, they had a lot of hokey jokes, but, I mean, when you have a comedic director, that's what you're going to get. I mean, they're trade-offs. There definitely was corniness, because someone... he was like, oh my god, the whole love story again, like, oh, give me a break, when he talks about
wasn't that bad, dude.
No. I'll add my piece and you finish. Go ahead and finish. I'll add my piece. Go ahead.
So he was saying that after,
This.
So he was saying that, like, he was saying that, like, during the whole, like,
oh Lord, again.
But I mean, in all honesty, like in the comics, Jane Foster was like Thor's like love interest, and that was like he hasn't really had many others. I mean, there's women who want him, as you see from the trailers with this, the flick. That was not a flick. So want to be famous? Yeah, we don't want to.
No, don't read that. Keep going.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was corny, but I thought it was good. I don't know what I would give it as. I mean, I thought it was in the pantheon. It's definitely better than some of the stuff that we've seen, and it's not as good as other stuff that we've seen. I would say like it's not top 10, but it's in there somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna chime in. I mean, I like the story. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I know the overall real story, the comic story. I did like Christian Bale. I thought he was awesome, man. I really did. I thought he was a good character. Anytime he does that and doesn't talk with that Batman raspy voice, I like him. If he talks with the Batman raspy voice, I want to turn him off. But yeah, like I said, I like this character. I was upset over the love thing, because I'm kind of tired of movies or anything that's like, I mean, I don't want to tell the movie, but Fast and the Furious. I'm so sick of the family line in Fast and the Furious, where he says, you just don't know about the Toretto and their family, or the one thing we all have is family, and so I'm so sick. I'm tired of that. So I'm tired of movies that have well, this is the one thing that we all have, that's love. And I'm like, oh, come on, man.
It's
so cheesy. So cheesy. You had to end with that.
I think it was
So, like,
supposed to be cheesy.
I'm like, come on, man. I mean, we had to. Oh, God. And it's bad because you heard me. I said the answer before he said it. Before they said it. And I said, love. And it showed, we have love. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, come on. So I'm just.
I'll call a timeout and say, you were the ones that were talking about how much you love Miss Marvel and like the family and the love and all that stuff. And now you're saying, well, with Thor, it's like other movies. Marvel really doesn't do like love in their things. Like
it's
who in Marvel,
cheesy. It was
like,
cheesy in the delivery. That's all. It was cheesy. If you do a story with the premise of that, that's fine. But it's the cheesiness of the delivery, like I said. And the only way, I'm not trying to give the movie away, so that's why I'm talking about Fast and the Furious. When they say,
but
you go through an entire, if you've seen, I don't know if you've seen the last Fast and Furious, but in the last one, every other line was about family. I really do mean every other line was about family. The one thing you just don't know. Toretta and his family.
Who made this movie? so that is both your answer to that question.
I mean, I understand.
Disney made this movie for families and like love and all that.
That's fine.
And Marvel movies really hasn't done like the love thing.
No, it's the it's not love. It's not the premise. It's the delivery of the line. Yeah, it was just cheesy. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, I like the movie. Okay. I thought it was entertaining. To me, I think it's my second favorite Thor movie because, in all honesty, I really didn't like the first one. It was dry. I really did. I thought the first one was kind of dry. So I would say Ragnarok would be my first one that I loved. The second one will be this one. Third one will be Thor, the very first Thor movie. And the fourth one, which really should be like the eighth one, would be the Dark World, because Dark World was boring.
So,
but
it was.
I will say something. Like, I did enjoy it. However, I did not like the casting choice of one of the characters in the end credit. I do not like that guy as that character. But we can't ruin anything.
Yeah, we'll say that in a few weeks.
We'll say that next week or whenever. But
are you talking about a certain super strong, ugly dude that just didn't look right? Oh my god!
They got the hairiest person to play. Like, they got a werewolf to play someone.
A werewolf.
They got somebody from
I know where they got
wedding.
Well, he came from.
Is he going to do and lick his eye?
He came from
his
Ted
power
Lasso.
Squirting everything with Winn-Dixie or Windex. I do like.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
That's a great. I enjoy that movie. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, though. It's so fun.
But, so I will say, I think we have seen hints of like who the next big bad is. Like the Necrosword, that they could go with Null, who controls all symbiotes, which we know a symbiote is now in this universe. So the Necrosword, he uses that to take control. He's also cosmic level, not really Avengers. Plus, he was created like a year ago, so I don't know if they use him. I still think High Evolutionary is the number one target because supposedly he's in the comics, it's revealed that Magneto is not Wanda and Quicksilver's parents. It's actually, High Evolutionary did some tinkering and like he normally does. So
look at that. Who knew? Who knew? See, we had this talk today. Who knew?
Yep. Who knew?
Pluto's not a planet.
Oh gosh! All right.
Changes every other year.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, it's up to the writer. In all honesty, it's up to the writer.
Yeah. So Pluto's not a planet. Changes every other year. I always looked at Magneto having 2 kids, and that was Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And to find out they're not. Hey, man. Kind of changes House of M.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that's the thing that Marvel's good at. When you have the ability to go through universes, time travel, or have a super being from space that can change anything that they want. They can change anything in the movies because that's it. That's the end all. Well, it's kind of sucking. Okay, now we just go to you guys are a different universe, and this is where we're going to go with this now.
Yeah, we'll reset it. Yep. Somebody just said, "Sup, Yubi." So what's up? I don't know who that is. It just says Facebook user, but much love. You know, we like the one. What was that? Dave Chappelle. One love. There you go. All right, let's move on. But overall, do we recommend the movie? Do we say go see it?
Yeah, grab your popcorn and enjoy it. It's nice.
Popcorn movie. Is it for the family? Should the family take all the kids, everything?
I think I don't know. They want to look at Thor butt.
A little bit of Thor booty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say we'll all recommend. Yeah, go see this movie. Yeah, it's fun.
The more I thought about it, I'd say I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 is my final score. But it's still fun. It's what we call the popcorn eater. Will I watch it again? I don't know. Maybe when I'm streaming and there's nothing else going on, there's nothing else to watch. No, probably I don't know. There's got to be like nothing else to watch.
It'll be on the D+ in about a couple months.
Maybe if it's on TV while I'm trying to go to sleep at night and I'm flipping channels and it's on, I'm like, man, watch this stuff and it'll put me to sleep.
All right, so let's move on. So we all said that. Now let's talk about our homework we had. And this is the post game show right now. So if you're leaving, you have a great day. But if not, you're gonna get a great thing to listen to.
I wish
this is gonna be fun.
Chat on this one.
Yeah, so if you got something to chat, I really would love to hear your comments when we get into this because I think this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so in this homework assignment given by Darth Bill the Wise, because you know he's so wise and all. I mean, that's why he got the gray beard and stuff. According to Darth Bill, well, what he said is, let's go through let's recast the MCU. So let's hit all the main people within the MCU, but let's recast it with people from that. Go ahead.
He said to recast Endgame with actors from the 80s. That's it. Wasn't go through every single Marvel.
Well, I said the main. I was looking at the main people. That's what I was looking at.
So recasting Endgame, which technically has everyone that was in every single one of those movies, but that was the homework assignment. So.
Okay, so since I came up with the homework, I want to let you guys hear what I came up with, and I think I'm pretty proud of my my list.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll name the character, and then we'll talk about who you want to put him in.
Okay.
You want to do it that way? Because I don't want to just shoot down a list. I think that'd be boring. So let's name the character, and then we'll all debate on who could have played that role.
There was a question. Maybe we'll bring that up at the end of when we're done with this part.
We got a question? Hold up. Real quick. All right. Can we do we have to get it?
I say it's fake news because the director of Thor, he tries to piss off fans regardless because it gets more clicks, and he doesn't care.
He said it was a joke. He's like, it's a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke, and you and I talked about it earlier. I think parts of the Star Wars fandom is too sensitive at this point. Like, they just need to let go and let it lie where it lies. They're making a big deal out of nothing. Like, I'm pretty damn sure he knows who Natalie Portman is because he brought her back. That's my take on it. Plus, like, just seeing the things he posts, like, on Twitter all the time. Like, he tries to piss people off. Like, he said, in Thor, I have, like, Thor and, like, Korg making out and, like, other things like that. Like, so he's trying to agitate people. So he's trying to, like, drum up business and make people be like, arr, arr.
Okay. Well, real quick.
I just don't give a shit anymore. I don't.
Real quick, if people don't know what we're talking about, the director of Thor: Love and Thunder made a comment that he was talking to Natalie Portman and asked her the next time when he does a Star Wars movie, he said that you might want, just saying like if you want to be in it, next time I direct a Star Wars movie or when I get the chance to direct a Star Wars movie. And her comment back was, well, I've already been in one, and they made a comment about the fact she made a comment about the fact of him asking her that and the fact that she's been in 3 of them and him not knowing. So she made the comment. He came back and made the comment that he was joking. I hope he was.
He was joking. Like he's always.
I hope he was. I hope he was.
There's also the other part that she actually probably has twins in this universe. So, I mean, I forget who the other one. The Pirates of the Caribbean played her handmaiden, and they switched roles, and I'm pretty sure she had doubles too. So technically, if he wanted to bring it in, they could explain it. All right, let's go. Let's go to the '80s recast of the MCU. Like no Star Wars. Let's go.
So if we do, this is where if you're going to edit this video and just put up this clip, edit now. Helping you out.
All right, yeah. We're going to start right here. All right, so let's go through. We're going to hit some of these people. And if I had a hard time, I'll tell you I had a hard time. But let's start off. So let's start with the number one Avenger, Captain America. 1980s. Who would you have play Captain America?
Bill?
Tom Cruise. Or no, yeah, Tom Cruise. That's what I put down. Tom Cruise.
Really?
80s Tom Cruise. Yep.
80s Tom Cruise. Okay.
Like Top Gun era Tom Cruise.
I would say I disagree. I would say either Harrison Ford or Kevin Costner because they're more like the American boy. And yeah, I'm revealing the next one. Tom Cruise, I could see more as like a young Tony Stark type of character. I think he's a better Tony Stark than he would be Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is like more prim and proper, and Tom Cruise, well, risky business, not prim and proper. So put him more as like the Tony Stark type of character, and I think he would be a better fit for Tony Stark.
I couldn't figure out who I wanted as Captain America. Part of me I didn't want Tom Cruise at all. Because actually, I didn't have Tom Cruise as an Avenger. I'll reveal who I had him as later. But I looked at Kevin Costner. Part of me thought about Richard Gere because he was an officer and a gentleman. Mayonnaise.
Gerbil.
I couldn't. That was a hard one for me because I just couldn't think of that one figure to be Captain America. I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. So let's move on. Iron Man.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Selleck. I thought about that
because he was pretty sly. We're talking Magnum PI in the '80s. Good Iron Man minus the goddamn shorts that he was wearing.
Them short shorts.
Very uncomfortable.
Somebody just said I agree with Tony Stark. Which one? You agree with which Tony Stark? He just said
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, and we said Tom Selleck.
But he was too young, though. I think this is because Tom Cruise was too young to play Tony Stark.
You could go different ways with it.
We can also pitch Robert Downey Jr. because he was pretty big in the '80s too.
He said, "Oh, he agreed with Tom Cruise." He said Christian Slater.
Oh, I got Christian Slater for somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
That one.
So let's move on. And I'll admit I didn't guess anybody for this one because I couldn't. I just couldn't. Thor.
Dolph Lundgren, or and I've already. This is my thing. Hold on. You're not fucking Nathan.
Go ahead.
Or what's his name? Crap. He played. Crap. I forget his name. He played Kingpin. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
The latest Kingpin?
The latest Kingpin. He was, yeah.
Because of Adventures of Babysitting?
Because he was Thor in Adventures of Babysitting, and he looked the part.
I was agreeing. Dolph Lundgren, I disagree because of one thing, and I can just say one word: Punisher. he was a shitty ass Punisher, and he couldn't act at that point. So
You would.
no,
That was a bad movie.
Oh yeah, that's again,
Dolph Lundgren
it's
has
not
done
the actor's
better.
fault. It's not the actor's fault. It was the writing fault because they didn't even have the Punisher symbol at all during that whole goddamn movie.
That's true.
You want to see a pissed off teenager?
That's true. Well, I have Val Kilmer. That's the only one I could think.
For Thor?
Yeah,
So
that's
Thor-
the only one I could think to play the role.
So Thor,
Was Val Kilmer.
I was between two: Mel Gibson, because I was going on Australia connection with Hemsworth, and Clancy Brown. You know, the Kurgan. Those are the two that I thought, because both are good actors. They could kind of play them off, and ta-da. I do have Dolph Lundgren. Don't worry, I have him. All right,
Okay.
next one.
Let's
Who's the next one?
Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
Oh gosh, I have to look. Bill, do you want to go or you want me to go? I kind of want to go.
Carrie Hughes from the guy from Princess Bride and Twister.
Ah,
Okay, so
Hawkeye.
I went a different direction than you. I thought between Kurt Russell, Dennis Quaid, or Rex Chapman. Rex Chapman played like Street Hawk, like he was in all these little stupid TV shows. Because you have to remember, like Marvel like pulls like from TV shows a lot of these characters. So I was trying to use that philosophy, but I really like Kurt Russell. I think he would be an awesome Hawkeye because, well, Snake Plissken.
I think he's too tough.
Too tough for that role, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see him there. And you picked on me this winter, Nathan Summers. I picked Michael Dudikoff from all the old ninja movies back in the 80s.
Marvel would never hire him.
I just looked at the fact that this guy actually can do the stunt work because Hawkeye is Ronin, and he can do that. So I went, let's pick the guy that can do all the action. And that's what I thought.
Hollywood has these things called stunt doubles, so they can do that.
Just saying.
You got to look like he can do the stunts.
I got a guy, Michael Dudikoff, could do all that stuff. I mean, he wasn't. I'm not going to say he was the greatest actor. I'm just saying. Oh, now somebody's saying Tom Cruise would be a good Hawkeye.
I think so too.
Is this the same face? It seems to me it only says Facebook user. I don't know who it is. I'm like, look, if it's the same Facebook user, Tom Cruise can't play all the roles.
To be honest, Christian Slater could probably do it, but
yeah,
I didn't think Christian Slater was in the. He was more like 90s, I thought.
Yeah,
because he was like in the Fat Kid. So I didn't choose him.
What about Kevin Bacon?
He was no
Kevin Bacon.
He would be a good Magneto or
Magneto. Kevin Bacon.
Or what's the other guy that he played? I'm sorry, I was trying to make a joke, but I know he had the Magneto hat on. Anyway. All right,
let's move on. Moving on. All right, Black Widow.
This one I was struggling
Brooke
with.
Shields.
I'll go. Demi Moore.
Okay, I can see that too.
She was one of the hottest people back then, and like Brooke Shields. Yeah, well, I'm partial to Demi Moore. Like I think she's like Black Widow to me.
I'll agree with you. I'll take that.
See, I was more looking at Demi Moore for Nebula, but we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
Now, I had two options on this one. Either Michelle Pfeiffer. What's your name from Greece? Olivia Newton-John.
Really?
Or Cher.
Cher.
I was thinking in my head, like long legs, tall. After I had to take a shower after I was done.
Oh, that's bad. Look, we're not trying to get deep into that, dude.
Demi Moore was definitely Black Widow to Bruce Willis. Oh,
I know. Slam.
All right, next one.
All right. Just so you know, dude, on the chat, all I see is Facebook user. I don't see who the name is.
Oh, you got to open up.
Yeah, I gotta actually open up Facebook and have it open to look at the names. But yeah,
right,
just letting you know.
Next character.
All right, real quick. Next character is Banner. I split them into two, so I got Banner. Who's gonna play Bruce Banner?
I would say Lou Ferrigno. Well, a Banner. Who would play Banner?
Banner.
See, that one I did think about. Okay,
I actually put Michael Keaton.
Nope, Martin Short. Or wait, sorry, no, wait. Yep, no, Martin Short. I have Martin Short
Now,
because
Martin
he's short, small.
Short,
playing
Yes,
the
Banner.
Martin Short.
comedian,
Yeah,
Yep.
playing Banner.
the wild and crazy guy, Martin Short, Saturday Night Live.
Inner space. See, inner space. He can play that character. And then for Hulk, I had. Well, we can wait till you get there.
Yeah, that's the next one. So I had Michael Keaton for Banner, because Michael Keaton has crazy eyes. So I figured he'd be a good Banner. Plus, he was coming off of Mr. Mom, and I remember when he did Batman, and no one thought he could play Batman. I remember the big knock on him. Oh, can Mr. Mom playing Batman? But
Yeah,
anyway.
I have something else. So no.
Yeah, so I have that, and then for Hulk, I have Schwarzenegger because he was the biggest guy out there.
I don't know. We already had one. Let's just use this one.
Lou,
Right here.
just use the same Lou.
He's already right there.
No, I either go with Schwarzenegger or Richard Mole.
I had Schwarzenegger picked for something else, but I'll go with Lou Ferrigno because love to the big guy.
All right, moving on.
next.
Black Panther.
Nah.
Okay, if we're going 80s, you're gonna like this one.
All right,
Philip Thomas.
Philip Michael Thomas. I knew somebody was going to say that. Moving on.
Miami
Who else?
Vice.
What did you say?
I was between three: Denzel Washington, Grand L. Bush, or Wesley Snipes. Those were my
Wesley
four.
Snipes. 80s Wesley Snipes.
He was in the late
T'Challa.
80s. So New Jack
Oh, yeah.
City, he would be that. Grand L. Bush, no one really probably knows him. He was the other Agent Johnson in Die Hard, the younger one
Okay.
who I think he has like the size to like play him. So I liked him. But those are the three. I think Denzel will probably be back then. He would have been awesome because he was still like he was up and coming. So
Yeah.
I think he's the type of actor Marvel would have gotten because they would have seen he's an up and comer, so they would have grabbed him, and that's sort of Marvel's MO.
Yeah, they would have saw
thing.
Mississippi Masala and said that guy can act.
Well,
They would
I
have seen
think I'm gonna-
Bilko.
I
They would
think
have
I'm
seen
gonna take who? Bilko?
Bilko. They would have seen Bilko and said he could do like that accent. That's the Wakanda accent, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I'm gonna- go ahead.
I was going to say, I have the guy that's from The Last Dragon, Timac. I have him playing T'Challa. And it was, again, because he has the ability, he was actually a multiple black belt in martial arts, and he has the ability to do the motions. So that's why I picked him.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think
Now-
we could take that with what I have and lead into the next character because you said Denzel, and I love Denzel Washington. But here's my thinking because I thought Denzel would be a good role for Black Panther, but then I thought Denzel's a hell of a guy. Denzel seems like a good person to pick up Captain America's shield and run with that. So I say Denzel as the Falcon.
Falcon, I have that.
Nope. I have someone
Denzel.
completely different.
Again, my list.
Yeah, my list. I had Denzel
I
and I had Blair Underwood.
I can disagree with you, whiny piece of crap. I picked Keith Williamson for Falcon. Keith Williamson was Bubba Gump or Bubba in Forrest Gump.
But was he in the 80s?
He
That
was
was
in the
90s,
80s.
What did he
was
do in the 80s?
Wildcats. He was in Wildcats. He played Bird. Boom. I like them
Okay.
apples.
Well, like I said, I picked Blair Underwood and I picked Denzel Washington for Falcon.
Yeah.
I thought either one would be great. Plus, I got to give love to Blair Underwood because it's from Henrico County. Much love to you, bro. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Ant-Man. I'm gonna put them together. Ant-Man and Wasp.
Well, you know what? I would just say Michael Douglas as the original.
Somebody said no, not Blair. Moving on. So you said Michael Douglas, and who's going to be Wasp?
Well, based on that logic, he's going to go with Michelle Pfeiffer because she played.
You know, it could work, right? If he's already Hank Pym and He was Ant-Man previously as young Michael Douglas.
Yeah, and it is the '80s, and he was hot in the '80s. He was hot. Michael Douglas was the man in the '80s.
He was.
Romance
he
in the
was.
Stone.
Freaking love
So-
that movie.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn? Really? Interesting.
Are we talking Bruce Willis from Moonlighting, where he had a little bit of hair?
Yes. Like you said, the '80s. We're going by the '80s. I understand like timelines. Like '80s. Like that was Die Hard.
Well,
that was Moonlighting. Blind Date. Like okay.
I can see that.
I'm not bashing
Like I
on
said,
I'm not bashing on your crush. All right, just relax.
I was a homer. I stuck with Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer. That was easy.
I think that was fun.
All right. Yeah. All right. Scarlet Witch.
Jamie Lee Curtis. She did horror movies, and she could do like the horror stuff. And I think Marvel would have seen that and been like, "Yeah, let's get her." And she was like, she wasn't like a big name.
I guess I could see it. I would see. Now I'm looking at. I've got two pictures of Jamie Lee Curtis in my head. I got the one from Halloween, right? Because she played like the innocent girl, and then the one from Trading Places where she had a little bit of street smart. I think all these actors would have screwed it up if it was made in the '80s.
Well, Michael Dudikoff would be perfect.
Oh.
Chuck Norris, like we could just go through all those guys.
Ooh, Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner. As Scarlet Witch, though. See, that was the thing. I think Kathleen Turner is too strong of an actress. That's why I didn't pick her.
He said that for Wasp.
Oh, you're saying that for Wasp? Okay, yeah, I can see that. I just, well, I went with the Brat Pack, and I said Marley Ringwald because Wanda is supposed to be young and still kind of impressionable, and I said, well, let's pick the little redhead. I think she'll do all right. So that's why I went with Molly. All right, moving on. Here we go with fun. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Yeah,
It sounds like a mid-watch conversation. Actually, it does.
It does. This is what I always said, man. I always loved the mid-watches because we would talk about some silly ass stuff like this.
Yeah. All right, Doctor Strange. I picked Richard Gere.
Peter Houghton.
Michael Keaton.
Oh, you got Michael Keaton doing that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Or Scott Bakula.
Right.
One of those two.
Ooh, I didn't even think about Scott Bakula. Wow. My bad. I didn't even think about that. Moving on. War Machine.
The War Machine would be
That's
Carl Weathers.
really Carl Weathers.
Oh,
Danny
ripped
Glover.
up Carl Weathers. Yeah.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover? Wow.
He's getting too old for this shit. Was he too old? he was too old for that shit in the 80s.
He was younger.
How old
He was a little bit younger.
He seems like he's
That
always
robot
been, like,
guy from
old.
Alien. Who was the robot guy from Alien?
For what?
He said for Doctor Strange, that robot guy from Alien. Like, who was the robot guy from Alien?
Oh, we're gonna have to look that one up. We talking the guy that Sigourney Weaver put a magazine in his mouth and choked his ass out? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I think so.
Carradine. I think it was Carradine.
But for War Machine, I picked Clarence Gilliard Jr. He was the guy that played with Walker, Texas Ranger. Because I said
90s,
that's
though, wasn't it?
No, it's 80s.
He was in Die Hard.
movies. He was in movies in the 80s. Yeah, he was also the dude with the glasses in Die Hard.
Oh, the one that was breaking into the vault, right? The computer guy.
Yeah.
And I figured, well, he can play Captain James Rhodes or Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, whatever it is.
Lance Hendricks. That is right. Lance Hendricks. I was wrong.
All right. Spider-Man.
Okay, I had two for this one. Either a young Leonardo when he was on Facts of Life,
I didn't think about Leo. Good job.
Or Eric Stoltz. Not Eric Stoltz as the mask, though.
Man. Who you got there, Nathan?
Jerry O'Connell, Scott Baio, or Michael J. Fox?
For Spider-Man. Okay. I picked Joey Lawrence.
Or, wait, I forgot one. Kirk Cameron. That's actually the leading candidate, Kirk Cameron. From,
I didn't even think about. I didn't think from family ties.
Growing Pains.
He was
Growing
else.
Pains. Wrong movie. I mean, wrong TV show. Anyway, I picked Joey Lawrence, Henry Thomas, because he was in E.T. I thought Elliot.
So your
from
Spider-Man
E.T.
would have
played.
been like 8.
I mean, I'm just picking out people I figured that could do it. And Anthony Michael Hall.
He was kind of young in the 80s, too, but I guess...
I mean, I just thought, okay, he had to have been...
I'm thinking of him from
he had
Breakfast
to
Club and...
Yeah, he was in Breakfast Club. That's what, mid-80s. And I
Weird
knew
Science.
he hit that. My only knock against Anthony Michael Hall, and I know y'all gonna say it doesn't matter, is because he grew tall very fast. Like if you look at National Lampoon's Vacation, in the very beginning of that movie, he is shorter. He is like noticeably shorter than his sister. Yeah. And they had to do reshoots at the end of that movie because they didn't like how the movie ended. And he is like he is like a head taller than his sister at the end of the movie. So so I was, I'm kind of like, yeah, he got tall real quick. I don't know about that. But yeah, I just thought he'd play pretty good.
Next.
Spider-Man. Vision.
Vision's not in Endgame.
Still, he's a Avenger, and I wanted to know.
He's Jarvis.
Who'd you pick for Vision?
Brent Spinner. Star Trek?
I said James Spader.
James Spader.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid. He wasn't in Endgame, so I wasn't including him, but Dennis Quaid.
Well, I thought that, and I thought Robert Redford slightly. But I was like, I don't know. Let's get the voice of Thanos.
That we need to go through the rest of the Avengers before we hit Thanos.
Oh, okay. Who else? Who am I missing right now?
You're missing a bunch that were in Endgame.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Bucky. Darth Bill the Wise. Bucky.
Who will play Bucky?
Peter Weller. RoboCop.
Interesting.
Yep. Either him or Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was my other choice.
All right, middle guy. Who do you choose?
I don't have anybody for me. You hit names I didn't have.
How can you not have
choose Vision? The one person.
I wasn't thinking about Bucky at that time. Go ahead.
All right, next? I had Richard Greco, Andrew McCarthy, or Rob Lowe for Bucky. Next character.
I like Richard Greco. That's pretty good.
Captain Marvel.
Who did I pick for that one? I don't. You know what? I don't think I had that one.
That one would probably be Sigourney Weaver to me.
I chose Elizabeth Shue.
Ooh.
Okay, Valkyrie.
Yeah, he said Matthew Broderick would be a good Tony Stark. He probably could. I think Matthew was a little young.
We already passed that.
Yeah, I'm just going through the things, man.
Valkyrie.
What was oh crap? She just got a divorce from Aquaman.
Oh, you talking about Lisa Bonet?
Yeah, because I was just actually watching a movie with her the other day because she was trying to break out of the goody role from the Cosbys, and was in that one horror movie. Was like
Angel Heart.
Yes.
Yep, that's what got it kicked off the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Between that and getting pregnant.
Who do you choose?
Me?
Who do you choose? Not you.
I didn't have anybody, but I can see Lisa Bonet doing that role.
So I was thinking either Rosie Perez or Jasmine Guy. Now we get into our Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Rosie
Star-Lord.
Perez is Valkyrie. Hold on. Let me process this with her.
I know. That's what I'm like.
The way she talks. I would like, oh.
She has attitude, so it'll be funny. So it'll be
She got
good.
a lot of attitude.
So Star-Lord.
I put Matthew Broderick for that one.
Nas, or did you miss Guardians of the Galaxy?
I didn't have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
But I can think of somebody.
Hey, while you're thinking, I'll read off what I have for Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you can jump in.
All right, hit it.
I'll give you. All right, so I had Matthew Broderick as Star-Lord, Jennifer Beals as Gamora, Nebula as Sigourney Weaver. The voice of Rocket would be Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Drax would either be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Andre the Giant. And Mantis would be Molly Ringwald.
Oh, so you did put Molly Ringwald in there. That's pretty good.
All right, Star-Lord, Val Kilmer. Gamora, Linda Hamilton. Drax would be Jesse the Body Ventura. Nebula, I am torn between Sigourney Weaver or Angela Bassett. Rocket, the voice would either be Robin Williams or George Carlin. The voice of Groot, I had 3. I think Billy Crystal is the best voice for Groot because I think that would be hilarious. Or Dan Aykroyd or Bill Murray. Mantis, that's where I put Cher. Cher and one other name that maybe people won't know, Catherine Bach. Daisy Duke.
Mm-hmm. What about Ernest Borgnine doing the voice of Groot?
That'd be good.
Yeah, that's
I
what
didn't think about that.
Yeah, I had some names. I had people to do voices, and I had that out there.
So now we're on to Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Well, since it's the 80s, they didn't really change over Nick Fury yet until so 80s version of Nick Fury would have been white, and I would have picked Kurt Russell for it because of the patch. But if you were to keep it as the Samuel Jackson one, I was gonna say, oh crap! It was either be Carl Weathers for that one too, or Danny Glover. Because I always thought Danny Glover in the 80s looked older than he was and wiser.
I had Lee Majors or Mr. T.
Mr. T?
Who doesn't get
Pity fool, you don't see my patch.
Mariah Hill would be...
Beat you like a dog, paper champion.
Mariah Hill would have been Ali Sheedy. All right, so let's see. Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan.
Hey, woman.
Pepper Potts, Happy Hogan. Who do you have for those?
Bill Murray for Happy.
Okay. I had Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. One of those two, and Daryl Hannah playing Pepper Potts. What about Wong? Wong. Who would play Wong?
I didn't even think about Wong.
I had Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Oh, look at that, boy. Knock on wood.
I think so. Yeah, right. Jackie Chan was still doing. Well, he was in Cannonball.
He was doing all the police story movies during the 80s.
Okay, Wakanda people.
Okay, we're not going that far. We're just picking.
I ain't going that deep into it.
What about What about the Iron Man's neighbor's sister's stepdaughter?
When you did in episode 16, when you did the combination, to get into your safe. Did you turn left or did you turn right?
Would be Shuri, and then Grace Jones would be Okoye. Loki is in this, so I would say James Wood. Red Skull, I would say
David
James
Bowie.
Bond,
David Bowie.
Ooh.
Red Skull
David
would
Bowie
be
for Loki.
okay.
And Thanos? Did we get Thanos yet?
We're almost there. Frigga would be Molly Ringwald. Thanos. The voice of Thanos, I was deciding between a few. Peter Weller, Avery Brooks, or Dennis Haysbert. And I chose Dennis Haysbert.
I picked Dennis Hopper.
Burgess Meredith.
Dennis Hopper.
Okay.
Because he did the
Ebony-
voice to Serpentor in the old G.I. Joe movie.
Ebony Maw, Dolph Lundgren, with voiced by Ben Kingsley.
Ooh, Ben
Corvus
Kingsley.
Elas would be either Rutger Hauer or Kiefer Sutherland, and then Proxima Midnight would be Kathleen Turner. And that's the cast of the Avengers Endgame, which is what you told us to do.
You went in it. You got extra credit, and you don't have to stay after class.
No, you don't. You get
That was
gold
something I was
star
going on.
in lieu of second award.
You are today's freaking line leader before lunch. Line
Yeah,
leader.
I don't.
Congratulations.
I don't know what that means. So. Okay.
Oh, were you homeschooled?
A participation award. Yeah.
You were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled.
Yeah, I was homeschooled and bullied.
Bilson is.
It's the only person in the class is me and my mom.
I was homeschooled and bullied, and couldn't get a date to the prom.
Oh, that's a pretty good one for Pepper Potts.
Ooh, Hooligan.
Houlihan from MASH.
Houlihan, yeah. I liked her. Oh my god.
Hot Lips Houlihan. That's what she was called.
Nice, good call.
She was
man.
like 40 though in the 80s.
Man. That ain't
They just
makeup.
put some makeup on her. I think everybody when we were kids was in their 40s.
Or they look like they was.
But no shit. Like I watched Poltergeist the other day, and I'm looking at these people coming in, and I'm looking up their ages, and like the old lady, this house is clean. She was only like 42.
She
Are
looked
you
like she
freaking
was
kidding me?
She looked like she was 92.
What was going on in the 80s? Like,
know.
look at the actual ages of the Golden Girls. They were just turning 50 when they made the Golden Girls, except for their
Really?
mom. Yes. B.
Really?
Arthur has always looked 60 years old. Always. What show she did.
Maud.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Maud.
She's always, and she used to be in the Navy, right? Yeah, she used to be in the Navy.
She did Navy? Really? She's a vet?
Mhm.
Awesome.
I actually think she was a Marine. She was like a corpsman or something.
Really?
And she probably looked
Hoorah.
60 in boot camp.
That's like, what's his name? Oh, now I can't think of his name. I'm brain farting on his name. He used to be on Electric Company, and then he was also on,
Morgan Freeman.
yeah, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's been old from birth.
He
He looked
he
the
was
same.
old in Electric Company, and he looked old when he was in the Robin Hood movie with
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
But it's cool because
Yeah.
he's friends with Andy Dufresne.
Hey, what about him? What about him playing Nick Fury? Too smart?
And too
He's
old.
pretty. In the 80s. Sorry. How old are you? 35? You look 60. Dude. The cigarettes
Oh
now.
man, got pictures of him high-fiving Abraham Lincoln. Oh. Let me stop, man. That's messed up.
He's been around
Yeah.
forever. My God.
Yeah, he does. And that's probably the one that is a great thing. But then, like I said, when you're being around forever, yeah, you get to get picked on. But what else? That's it, man. I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Any other homework assignments? You want to do X-Men next week?
Oh my God! If we say X-Men, we're going to be here all day because Nathan's going to break out he's going to pull out the encyclopedia. He's going to pull out the encyclopedia. Hey, what about Jubilee's little sisters?
Bill's just mad he doesn't know any of these characters, so he gets pissy.
No, I just put more information in my head.
It was like that movie. I was your mother's father's former roommate's hairdresser.
Baseballs.
So what does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Great movie. And he just had a birthday too. Happy birthday to Mel Brooks, man. God
yeah,
bless
he's
you.
old.
God bless you. He's what, 98, man.
98. And he's supposed to be coming out with another flick. He's supposed to be doing
Get out of here.
a new History of the World.
No.
Yep.
You are nuts.
Where-
NVTS nuts. Oh,
Who's the
great
source
movie.
for this? Since
I know. I want to
wanna
see
the
that.
source. Who's the source for this? Because
It's
is
called
this the
Google.
same source that? Well, I mean, you
It
use
was
Google to say that Johnny Depp like took 300 million from a failing Disney. So I'm just checking.
301. It's Google.
301.
Yeah, 301 million. Because
All
he
right.
said he wouldn't do it for 300 million. Let's see. History of the world.
Mel Brooks. Let's see. What is Mel Brooks doing?
Yeah, we're sitting there looking at Mel Brooks. Okay.
He's awesome.
I'm putting that as our closing comments because we're getting ready to close out for the day. And then I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee.
So I don't see anything that he's producing, acting. He will appear in Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank.
Oh, this is from Variety. History of the World Part 2 Variety series ordered at Hulu. Mel Brooks to write and executive produce exclusive. Variety's a pretty good source, right?
I don't see that article. So did you make this up?
No, you could try scrolling. Right there, look.
I am scrolling. Thanks.
Y'all are too much.
News.
Anyway, like I always say, man, any closing words? Any closing words? So what are we watching this week? I'm still watching the Miss Marvel, even though you guys don't like it. I'm still watching
I like it. I'll
because
watch it.
I'm curious how it ends now. I'm just at that point.
Finishing up Terminal.
It's like listening to Sailing Away. You know, once you start the song, I got to listen to it till it ends.
Unless it's sang by
Moving
Carmen.
on.
My favorite version.
He kept singing it real quick.
Can't wait. You guys.
Come sail with me. Come sail with me. That was great. That was a great show too. Anyway, like I said, so we got the terminal list. We already just saw Thor, so we give it another few weeks before we dig into it and crush somebody's spirit.
Amazon had a sneak peek of the Lord of the Rings series coming out.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a look. Just because. Well, yeah, good luck. What else we got?
I think it's it.
Dang, we got today's the 10th, so dang, I got another 2 weeks before Nope comes out. And I am going to see Nope. Yes, I am.
Have fun.
Yes. It's Jordan Peele, man. I don't care.
He loves those horror movies.
Jordan Peele makes a pretty twisted whatever.
Gray Man comes out, and I think in 2 weeks on Netflix.
That looks interesting
Great,
too.
man. Yeah, I saw the thing for that. And the latest episodes of Flash is finally on Netflix.
No.
Here's my camera.
Look at my
right
face.
Say, there's my camera. My camera's right here. Here we go.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
So you can watch the 8th season of Flash. All right. What else?
You have news that came out. Kevin Smith dropped the trailer for Clerks 3.
Really? Okay.
Yep. And the premises of the movie is going to be they're back at the so they're at the convenience store in New Jersey, and they opened up a weed store right next to it where the video store used to be. And he has a heart attack, and he says, "You know what? I feel like I'm going to die, so I want to make a movie." And they're like, "A movie about what? A movie about working here." So it's going to be a movie about making clerks. And
okay.
Kevin Smith is going to do a lot of flashbacks like he does. You know,
it's a Seinfeld thing.
Yes. Like I already saw the one comment on the trailer was, "Hey, you going to make a reference about that joke he said about the Death Star and the contractors getting killed?"
Yeah, everybody should be beat up for that. Like,
I was going to make a joke on Kevin Smith, you know, like the He-Man that he did. I was like, well, are they going to replace everybody with She-Ra in this movie too?
Yeah. That was disappointing.
It was.
That was very disappointing. But other than that, man, I think that's about it. We closed out. We took care of everything. This is a lot that I can slice up and post it little by little. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. I mean, other than y'all have a great week. I'm glad y'all were able to chime in and listen in a little while with the Three Gray Nerds. I mean, we'll be here every week.
We will.
Hopefully we'll be, yeah.
Make it
Watch our
smarter,
newest, we did a quick little thing about not Despicable Me, the Minions movie. It was The Rise of Gru. Cute little movie. So, take a listen. It's not long. It's only about 5 minutes. Really, it's about 9 minutes. And we'll be having more quick content like that throughout the week. So, see you guys over the week and next week. All right.